Synth TV.
Hey everybody, CatSynth TV! And today we are looking at Arturia's Phaser BI-TRON, part of the new effects collection too. If you haven't yet seen part 1 of our look at the collection, we recommend checking that out. And as always, please do subscribe to this channel for more synthesizer and audio content coming out regularly. And please do consider supporting us via Patreon or Ko-Fi, links in the description below. First, what exactly is a phaser?
Biophasers.
At its most basic, a phaser is a series of all-pass filters, each of which alters the phase of the incoming signal while leaving most of the frequency content intact. Mixing it with the original input creates phase cancellation, and modulating the filters with an LFO or other control signal creates the characteristic phasing effect. Adding a feedback loop around the filters adds resonance, and makes the effect even more pronounced. Released in 1974, the Mu-Tron Bi-Phase included 2 of these phase circuits, each with 6 filters. There were also 2 multi-waveform LFO generators that could modulate either or both of the phase circuits. The result was a rich, complex sound. The Arturia Phaser BI-TRON recreates the look and feel of the original Mu-Tron Bi-Phase, as well as its functionality. There are 2 phaser units, A and B, 2 separate LFOs or sweep generators, as well as the expression pedal which can run manually or as an envelope generator. Each phaser can be set to use the generators or the pedal or even both. There are 4 routing modes for the phaser units. Mono serial, which we see right now, as well as mono parallel and stereo parallel and serial. Let's switch back to mono serial and try this out with our vintage Minimoog. Here is the Minimoog Dry. And now let's switch on the BI-TRON. Okay, now we're going to look at each of the parameters and functions in more detail using the Arturia CS-80 V as our source. Okay, let's switch on the BI-TRON. Right now we have just phaser A modulated by generator 1. Let's mix in generator 2. It adds a more complex modulation to the sound. We can switch generator 2 to square wave. Let's go back to the sine wave LFO. We can switch both phasers A and B to use the pedal instead of the LFO generators. Now let's shut off phaser B and look at the advanced panel. Here we can adjust some internal parameters of the phaser circuit, most importantly the number of poles. Right now we have 6 poles or 3 of the all-pass filters active. We can switch to 8, 10, or 12. sound gets phasier and more resonant with more poles. But it's also interesting to go all the way down to 2. You get a fluttery sound, which is good with fast sweeps. Let's turn our attention to the routing modes. We can switch to parallel, which puts phasers A and B in the left and right channels respectively, creating different phaser effects in the stereo field. This is best heard with headphones or speakers with good stereo separation. In the next example, we're going to send the Arturia MicroFreak into the phasers in serial mode. Let's make generator 2 a square wave for phaser B. Increase the poles on phaser A, and add in generator 2. Switch to pedal modulation for both phasers. And now let's introduce the envelope follower. Here, the phaser modulates with the amplitude of the source for very articulated effects. I was quite curious how the BI-TRON phaser in envelope mode would work with a vocoder, so I opened up the Vocoder V virtual instrument.
Generator, oscillator, synchronize, synthesize.
And then tried it with the BI-TRON.
Generator, oscillator, synchronize, synthesize.
That's cool. Let's increase the number of poles and feedback. Okay, maybe dial it back a bit. Let's try it in a lower register.
Generator, oscillator, synchronize, synthesize. Generator.
This starts to invoke the sound of the Cylons from the original Battlestar Galactica, which used a combination of vocoder and envelope-driven phaser. But we're going to be doing a whole series on the Cylon voices at a later date, so please do keep an eye out for that. Of course, the BI-TRON can do some other crazy sci-fi sounds. Let's use this otherworldly patch on the Sequential Prophet 12. And bring in the phasers. That really sounds like classic 1970s sci-fi, sort of Logan's Run or something like that. In this final example, we're going to run multiple BI-TRONs on drums, electric piano, and our Minimoog in a wild, funky phaser jam. We hope you've enjoyed this look at the Arturia Phaser BI-TRON and have some ideas how you can use it in your own music. To find out more, please visit arturia.com and check out the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.